It's night, and as you may be able to guess from the stereotype episode title, we're in Chinatown.
Lock the cases, boys, and then you may go. Go! No! Please don't!
They're obviously a street gang, but why are they doing this?
You know who I am?
You are the dragon.
Then you know my power. You know what I do to those who defy me.
Please. I'm a poor merchant.
The mark of the dragon was left on your door. Yet you did not pay tribute.
It's a protection racket. This guy has established himself as somebody with special power, and all the merchants are cowed. He says, it's too late now. If you ignore the mark of the dragon, you suffer the breath of the dragon. And he hasn't brushed his teeth since yesterday morning. That's his dragon breath? A basic Roman candle, or maybe that's a road flare, it's hard to tell. Such powerful magic. He'll burn the place out, then take his gang and leave, including that one kid who didn't seem too keen on all this. As you probably guessed, he'll be the focus of our story. Jonathan, Brooke, and Ty are in Chinatown the next day to check out a place Jonathan knows, but Ty seems a little bummed.
There's nothing wrong. It's just that today's my birthday and nobody remembered.
Oh, it's your birthday today.
Yeah, hey, it's no big deal, guys. Good time. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure.
The restaurant they wanted to go to is closed, but Jonathan is noticing something odd.
It's unlocked.
Just a minute.
Ty really thought Jonathan would forget his birthday. Sometimes Ty is a little thick. Someone brings out a cake and they sing happy birthday. I'd show it, but I don't want to get into copyright trouble over the song, over happy birthday. As I've said before, greed makes people stupid. The man who owns this place is an old friend of Jonathan's.
What a marvelous smell in here.
Ah,
Fresh ginseng.
yes, I served it to your father. I never forget how he got my family out of China.
That's some tight writing. In 2 sentences, we just learned their entire backstory together. It's too bad that kind of writing was more or less minimized in a show that only has 1 episode left.
Hey, but where's Bobby? I haven't seen him here.
Bobby's left home. We don't even know where he...
Moto.
It's not much of a stretch to guess that that kid we kept cutting back to is Bobby.
Don't open that door. Ah, Maria!
And he just put the mark of the dragon on his grandfather's restaurant. Which means if Mr. Tan doesn't pay the protection, he'll be burned out as well, with Bobby's help. Neither Mary nor Grandfather Tan will tell Jonathan what's going on or what the marks mean. He did notice that the fleeing gang were wearing identical headbands, and he had a sinking feeling that Bobby was one of them. Jonathan tries to talk to Mary, but 2 of the gang appear and scare her away.
Hey. Unless you're going to carry her groceries, I think the young lady would rather walk home alone.
They're ready to fight some more, but another guy appears and calls them off, and suddenly Jonathan is all ready to go, but there's nobody to fight. These guys are really good at disappearing. Jonathan transforms to a hawk, and wonder of wonders, it takes less than 10 seconds. It doesn't take him long to locate them and track them to a certain place.
Red surf.
This door is password protected. You need a valid login to enter. And now Jonathan has one. He and Ty are all decked out to the nines and looking fabulous. Armed with the right passphrase, they have no trouble getting inside to find... Is anybody surprised? There are plenty of people out there who can't wait to hand their money to someone else and get nothing at all in return because someday they might hit it big. This is called fun. I don't get it. If you do, as long as the losses aren't hurting you or your family or someone else, have at it. Jonathan has spotted his game. His goal is to get invited into an office that he's been told is off limits, and he knows what he's up against at the table.
She held back the top card for herself.
That's right, she's dealing seconds. She just cleaned a guy out, and now it seems to be Jonathan's turn. In that mystery office, the dragon is training his gang of street thugs when someone comes in.
There's trouble at table 4. That man on table 4 is winning a lot.
One of the guys recognizes him from the little fracas at the marketplace. So first he humiliates those two guys. Now he's winning a bunch of their money. The dragon is not pleased.
10,000.
Well, let's go for it all.
All?
I'll see if I can have the house limit taken off for you.
10,000. The dragon has good reason not to be pleased. But at least Jonathan is giving them a chance to hang on to it.
Good evening. I'm Kwan. All this belongs to me.
Well, with a slight exception.
That bet exceeds the house limit.
Oh, I don't believe in limiting myself, Mr. Kwan. I am rather surprised to find that you do.
Deal the gentleman his hand.
The dragon is going to find out that Jonathan doesn't get intimidated. He was a POW in Vietnam. There's not much you can threaten him with that he hasn't already survived.
Excuse me. I would like to exercise my option to burn a card. Thank you. I will take that one. Blackjack.
In most professional games, a blackjack pays 2 to 1. That's $30,000. You can tell by the dragon's expression that he knows Jonathan caught them cheating and turned it back on them. A third humiliation.
If you do me the honor to come into my office, I'll write you a check for that. It's not safe to carry so much cash on the streets.
Oh, you are so right. The streets are full of unscrupulous people.
You know, I hear there are those who actually teach young boys to be unscrupulous street punks who prey on others. Let me tell you all the things I'd like to do to any blankety-blank piece of robble who would twist a child's mind like that. Don't you agree?
Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Nice the way you've decorated your office. Early kung fu?
Kwan gives the order and leaves the room.
Bobby, we were with your grandfather yesterday. We missed you.
You know these two?
In my life before Sifu showed me the way.
Oh, he's not a master, Bobby. He's a criminal.
Prove your loyalty.
Bobby isn't even a minor challenge for Jonathan, but the others overwhelm him and Ty. They manage to lock themselves in a storage closet. Ty is concerned that they can't get out, but Jonathan isn't trying to get out. Now he's trying to get out. Kung Fu won't do him much good. To deal with this, they should have taken up bull riding. Several of them come up with knives, so it's time to leave. By the way, just how strong is a Brahma bull? Oh, well, thank you for taking the time to answer my question. I know you're busy and all. Back at the station, they've been trying to figure out how Kwan could brainwash otherwise good kids like Bobby into believing he's a Sifu or martial arts master. Brooke found the answer.
They're identical.
This one was a symbol used by a criminal in China known as the Dragon. And wait till you hear this. He would leave claw marks as a warning for people to pay him a tribute of half of their earnings.
Seems like he showed in New York.
Well, I doubt it. The Dragon died in 1886, and his cult was never heard from again.
So Kwan has resurrected this idea and set himself up as the return of the Dragon.
What happened after he left the claw marks?
Well, if the people didn't pay him a tribute, the mark of the Dragon was followed by the breath of the Dragon.
The breath of the dragon?
Dragons breathe. Oh, my lord.
What?
Fire.
And he just realized the Dragon left his mark on Grandfather Tan's restaurant. They have to get there, now.
You are a leader of the community. People follow your example. Pay the tribute, and no harm will come to you.
No harm. You have taken my grandson away from his family. You will get nothing from me.
It's Roman candle time.
Ty, call the fire department.
Turn your face down. Turn your face down. Down.
Thanks to Jonathan, his burns are superficial. No thanks to his neighbors, who, as we saw, are just standing around wringing their hands and saying, "How awful." It's official, the Manimal and the Dragon are at war. Talk about a battle of mythical proportions.
You may instill fear in them, Mr. Kwan, but not in me.
Fear protects one from pain.
Give it up, dude. You are just not a rapper.
Very theatrical, but I am not moved.
Next time, you had better be.
But don't forget, every dragon has his slayer.
Jonathan is trying to get through to Mary and get her to stand up and testify, but she's afraid if she does, Kwan will kill Bobby, and Bobby is completely taken in. There's only one way they're going to get him away from Kwan, and Jonathan knows what it is. He's gonna have to change into a dragon. Oh, that's just the usual old panther. Where's the wings and the scales and the breathing fire? Here I thought he was going to show Kwan how his puny little Roman candle stacks up against real dragon's breath. I have yet to figure out what he does to bad guys when he does that. We know he doesn't kill them, bite them, or otherwise seriously hurt them, but he incapacitates them. How?
Bobby, I've come to take you to your grandfather. He's hurt. He needs you.
Grandfather, what happened?
He resisted the dragon. He was set on fire.
No, that's not true.
Then come and see for yourself.
Convenient that the dragon didn't tell Bobby about his little excursion. Bobby says, "You have to get out of here." Jonathan says, "Only if you come with me." Bobby agrees.
Hey!
Jonathan says, "He tried to kill your grandfather, Bobby." The poor boy has no idea what to think. Kwan has so warped his head that he's not even sure what's real anymore. Remember the war between the Manimal and the Dragon? The prize in that war is Bobby's soul.
Ha!
He's good with the nunchucks, you have to give him that. And they're a definite advantage.
Please, Sifu, do not kill him.
You beg for his life?
He is unworthy of death at your hands.
Bobby pulled that out of his goosix, but it'll save Jonathan's life because it plays on Kwan's ego.
What is the stuff, anyway?
Well, it's a natural salve to accelerate healing. Careful you don't put it on anywhere that's not injured.
Well, you don't have any place that isn't injured.
Sure he does. He has hair. Grandfather Tan is home from the hospital and Mary is tending to him.
Bobby.
Grandfather, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I've caused you so much pain.
No. All that matters is that you are home again.
Bobby says they'll come for me when they find out I've left, and the dragon isn't going to rest until he kills you. We all have to leave.
Stop him!
Start the car and start driving, Mary. Drive away. You're sitting inside a potentially deadly weapon. If you start it moving, they're going to back off. But she's in a full-on panic. For that matter, they all are.
Kwan, leave them alone. They're not the ones you want. I am.
You?
Yes, that's right. Me.
He's humiliated Kwan multiple times. Kwan doesn't want to admit it, but Jonathan is right. He orders the boys to stop.
Tomorrow, Kwan, a match. You and me, one-on-one in front of all the merchants.
I do not have matches against unworthy opponents.
Translation: gotta have my gang backing me up and my beat-em-up sticks, so if I can't have those, you're unworthy.
Oh, really? You just set fire to innocent people. What's the matter, Kwan? You're afraid you might lose in a fair fight.
They're watching you, Sifu. Show them what a rough, tough dragon you are.
Tomorrow, the Red Serpent, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's predictable, but it's believable. Bullies like him are always cowards. They rely on fear and intimidation because most of the time, if you stand up to them and give them a good poke in the nose, they fold up like a piece of paper. Kwan might take a bit more than a simple poke in the nose, but the basic principle is the same.
Martial arts all began with the study of animals.
I never knew that.
He tells the story of a monk who got tired of all the crime in his village and he couldn't do anything about it because his beliefs wouldn't let him use weapons. So he went into seclusion and studied the ways that different animals attack and defend. Martial arts grew from there.
I mean, even today, modern martial arts techniques are still called by their animal names: tiger style, snake style.
Personally, I prefer the Thompson submachine gun style.
Now, if you will excuse me, I have to prepare for my studies.
He has 18 hours to study as many animals as he can and adapt their techniques to his somewhat more limited vertical body. No transforming this time. He has to do all this as Jonathan Chase, totally human guy. We get a montage of him watching various animals and mimicking their movements, from wrestling bears to a lynx to a praying mantis and more. That may be taking it a little far, but if things get out of hand, he can always change into a bigger cobra and chase that one away, I hope.
I don't trust this Jonathan Chase. He would not come back to face me unless he was planning something.
Yeah, he's planning to win. You don't think he'd face you man to man? My, we do have a high opinion of ourselves.
If for some reason I don't kill him, you kill him.
I am sure he is going to cheat because that is what I would do. Yeah, Ty saw that. And with his experience, he's already planned out what he's going to do about it if this guy makes a move. Sifu Jr. doesn't know that. It worked almost as well for him as it did for the mongoose. We get a lot of those quick animal cut-ins during the course of the fight. This is a long battle and we definitely get our money's worth. I assume they're buying the DVD. If you watched my series on the Green Hornet, you might remember that in the 10th episode, The Praying Mantis, the climax was a kung fu battle between Bruce Lee and Mako. It lasted less than 30 seconds. I said at the time that I felt a little short-changed. This kind of makes up for it a bit. I think I was probably about 11 when I first realized one of the most basic principles of a television fight: the bad guy always goes for a weapon. It's a universal law even in animation. We saw it multiple times in the animated Batman movies. You can take it to the bank, the bad guy will always be the one who goes for a weapon. And now I'm happy to say I've poisoned your mind too. From now on, you're going to be spotting it and thinking about it every time it happens. You're welcome. And if it's the final fight of the story, that's usually about how effective the weapon is. Next time, be a little more obvious. Maybe he won't see you.
Kill him! Do as I tell you.
The spell is broken. Kwan is no dragon. He's just a guy with an ego. A guy who just got his hiney handed to him on a silver platter.
You're under arrest.
No. No. I'm still the dragon. No one will testify against me.
I will. I'll testify.
So will I.
And me.
He burned my store.
And what happens to his gang? Some of them did some pretty nasty things, including that one guy trying to murder Jonathan with a crossbow. We won't find out. I'm going to assume they all did what Bobby did and went home to their families, penitent and wiser. Mr. Tan's restaurant has been rebuilt. I assume Jonathan paid for it because that's what I'd do. If I had his money, I'd be doing stuff like that for anybody I could. See, I don't believe in loaning money. If you really need it and I have it, I'll give it to you. I don't want it back, and frankly, you can't give it back to me anyway. You're going to take those bills and give them to someone else and lose track of them, so if you did give me money back, it'd be some other money, not the one I gave you. So don't try. Tan and the other merchants have also formed an association with regular meetings so someone like Kwan can't push them around anymore. And besides, Jonathan is going to teach them all how to do the mongoose. They'll be fine. Real dragon's breath. Now try it with enough air. Kwan might take a bit more than a little. Man, I lost that one.